ChatGPT generated this code for me because of my task, which I passed to ChatGPT. And now in order to execute that program, I'll follow the steps mentioned by ChatGPT. I need to have Python installed, and here on my system I already do have it installed, but I could of course also simply visit this website here and then download Python from there and install it on my system. As mentioned, it is available for all operating systems, Windows, macOS, Linux, and so on. And then with that installed, I can run this command here to install an extra package, a third-party library, as it's also called, that will be used by that code. This command here will only work after you installed Python. Now I did actually go ahead and create a new folder, which I named ChatGPT examples, and I opened that folder with VS Code, with Visual Studio Code. Now, Visual Studio Code is a free code editor, and you don't need such a code editor. We could just also copy and paste the code generated by ChatGPT into a text file, give it the right file extension, and go with that. But using a code editor like this one here simplifies the process of working with code, since it formats the code, highlights it, gives different parts of the code different colors to make it more readable, and so on. Visual Studio Code is free to use and can be used on all operating systems, and I already installed it on my system here and tweaked the settings and the styling of that editor to meet my personal preferences, which you can do through the settings menu and the theme menu here. And in that editor, you can then also open the terminal, which in the end is your built-in system command prompt, your built-in system terminal, which you do need to run this command, because this command here must be executed in the terminal, in the command prompt. Even though ChatGPT, in my case here, does not explicitly tell me that this command must be executed there. Therefore, if you have absolutely no programming experience, this could of course be a problem. It is a problem which could be resolved by asking ChatGPT though. How do I execute pip install file type? I could send this follow-up message where I ask how to execute pip install file type, and then it, in this case here, again tells me that I need to install Python, but then here, for me, it also tells me that I need to open that command prompt, or on macOS and Linux, the terminal application. And that's exactly what you can also open here, integrated in Visual Studio Code by going to Terminal, New Terminal. That is this command prompt or terminal. With that, you can then run this command to install this extra package. And then you can copy that code with that convenient copy code button here and create a new file, which ChatGPT suggests to name like this. So here I will create a new file and then copy that code into that file like this. And then you have to save that file with Command or Control S, for example. And now we can execute that file by running this command here. For that, we again need that terminal. Here again, I'm using the one integrated into Visual Studio Code, because the advantage of using this integrated terminal is that it automatically navigates into this folder. So any commands I run here will be executed inside of that folder. And this next command must be executed inside of that folder because our code file is in this folder. If I would try to execute this in my normal terminal where I did not navigate into this project folder, into this folder that contains this file, I would therefore get an error, no such file or directory. Now, of course, if you're facing errors like this, you can again leverage ChatGPT to learn how to get rid of that error. I'm getting this error when trying to execute the program. And then you paste in your error message. That is something you can do, maybe wrapped with quotes, but that's not too important. And ChatGPT should then tell you that you need to navigate into the folder that contains the code file in order to execute it. So that's, of course, again, the advantage of ChatGPT. It's a chat. You can narrow down problems and find solutions for problems by letting ChatGPT know about the problems you're facing. However, here, it actually thought that I got this error because of the code that it provided me, not because I executed that code in the wrong way, and therefore it produced brand new code, which contains some extra check, which doesn't solve the problem I faced. So therefore, I would have to send a follow-up message to clarify that I faced this error when trying to execute the script, not after it started executing. So here I could then send this follow-up message here, for example. And now it understands that it looks like I was in the wrong folder and therefore that script wasn't found. And it gives me instructions on how to change to the correct folder using that cd command, which it highlights here, to make sure that the script can be executed. So that's how this error could be solved. Of course, an error which I didn't actually face here, but also because I have some development experience, but definitely an error you could be facing if you have no experience. And of course, there are many errors you could be facing in such cases, and that's why you should always take advantage of the fact that you're dealing with a chat here. Describe the problems you're facing and let ChatGPT help you. And if it helps you in a way that's not helpful, as was the case here when it misunderstood my problem, clarify your problem, as I did it here. Take advantage of the fact that it's a chat and that the entire chat history is used as context for future prompts.